Hi everyone, it's Wes here, back with another video. And today I want to talk about how I was able to pass my theory driving, is it my theory driving test or my driving theory test? My driving test that was theoretic, that is. But yeah, how I was able to pass my theory driving test. So I just had this test last on Tuesday and I passed. And guys, I got good marks. I got 50 out of 50. So the test comes in two sections. The first one is multiple choice sections that you have to answer 50 questions in 57 minutes. And then you have to answer, and then there's the hazard perception section, which is more of like videos that you have to click when you see a developing hazard. So what I'll do in this video is I'll just take you through how I was able to prepare for this exam and how I was able to pass these good marks. So I'll take you like my preparation phase as well as the actual day of the interview itself, what I did. So I'll quickly show you my certificate. So I just got this certificate on Tuesday, and I got good marks. As I said, guys, I got 50 out of 50. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this. It's 50 out of 50 on the multiple choice and 55 out of 75 on the hazard perception test. So what I'll do is I'll simply explain what I was able to do and what you can also be able to do to increase your chances of passing at first attempt. So guys, as I said, this was my first time doing this test and I was able to pass. So that's why I'm doing this video for me to help you guys to be able to pass your exam as well at first attempt. So let me quickly start sharing the tips now. The first one is make sure you book in advance. Guys, if it is your first time doing this test, I would simply say kind of like everything is a little bit new. Now, I wouldn't say like everything is totally new. If you have been driving before, you have an idea of the road safety regulations and everything. You have an idea, but they may be different. So for me, coming from Malawi, and we drive on the left, which is a little bit much easier for me to drive here. But on the road signs and regulations, some of them are different. So I really needed to kind of like study. So what I did was I booked well in advance. I gave myself a month and a half, I think. So I had this test on 21st of May, but I booked in April, I think on the 19th or 18th, kind of like a month and some 10 days. Let me just say 40 days. So I gave myself 40 days for me to be able to prepare for this exam. Guys, so I'll quickly share this. So if you are new here in the UK and you want to do your license, let me just take you through how you're able to get to booking for the theory test. So firstly, you go on the UK government website and then you're going to be able to apply for a provisional license. So you pay £23 and that's the price as the time that I'm doing this video. I mean, I don't know, maybe you watch this video after a year or two, the prices will have changed, but now it's £23. Then after that, you are sent a form which is you have to fill in, and then you send it back. Then they send you the provisional driving license, like a card, which I got mine after just 2 weeks. So yeah, I thought I'd just say how you get to this before I continue. So the first tip, as I said, is give yourself time to prepare. Now, the second tip is choose the right application. So guys, there are a lot of applications like for you that you can be able to use for you to practice for this. For me, what I did was I chose the official one, which is the one for the UK government. So I chose that one. So this one you have to pay. You have to pay £4 or was it £3.99 if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, you have to buy. So there are a lot of applications. I haven't used any other application apart from this one. And so whatever I say in this video is mainly based on that application. So I'm not recommending, oh, maybe you should try this app or that one. I can only recommend this one because it's the one that I've used. So this application comes with 3 sections. So the first section is to do with the study itself. Then we have practice. Then we have the videos that are for hazard perception. So that's what you'll be able to find in this application, which is exactly what you'll be able to find at the test itself. So what I did was I told myself, okay, I'll start with the study first. Then after the study, I'll go into the tests. Then after the test, I'll do the videos. So this is what I did. I started studying topic by topic because they're divided into different topics, alertness, maybe road regulations or motorway rules. So like a lot of sections. So what I did was I studied everything in that in the study section. Then after that, I now went to the practice. But before I went to the practice, this is what happened. Before I had started preparing for all this, the DVSA sent me an email to say, oh, you're booked on the 21st. You can do a mock test. I was like, okay, let me do it. So the mock test that I did had 50 questions for 57 minutes. So it was before I had studied. So I was like, let me just measure my level in terms of like what I know in terms of the role and everything. So this mock test had like 50 questions. So I did it without study, and I got 30 out of 50, which means I failed. Because for you to pass, you have to pass 43 above. So for the first test, I failed. I was like, oh, it means I need to study, because if this is the rate that I'm going at, I can fail. So I got back into studying. Then I studied, and after I finished the whole study, before I started the practice that is in the application, I went back to the DVSA. Actually, I'd received another email. That's good for them. They really do send you emails just as reminders. So they sent me another email to say, oh, you have like a few more weeks to go for you to do your tests. Maybe you can be able to do a little bit of practice. Then I did another practice after I had studied. And then guess what? I failed again. I got 40 out of 50. But I was like, you know what? No, did I get 42? I get 40. I got 42 out of 50. But I was like, you know what? I only missed one for me to pass. But I was like, okay, I guess I need to do a little bit more of practice now. So I started doing the whole practice itself, which helped me. So I gave myself a target to say every single day I'll be doing 100 questions. So let me just quickly say there are close to 740 questions on the application. I think so, if I'm not mistaken. It's not like you should do all of them. It's up to you, whatever you decide, because they come based on the topics that I said are there. So I gave myself a target to say in the last 10 days, right before the exam, what I'll do is I'll be doing 100 questions every single day. So that would mean like I've done close to 1,000 questions. Yeah, close to 1,000 questions. So I was like, okay, in the morning, I'll do 50 questions. In the evening, I'll do 50 questions. But now it didn't work out that way, because sometimes I was busy and everything, but I wouldn't do it in that way. But I was able to do, let's say, maybe 70 questions today, 70 questions the next day. But I gave myself time to say, you know what, just make sure you practice. So there was one thing which would have been a mistake for me, because I didn't know that I also have to do the hazard perception at the test. Because when I saw it on the application, I was like, oh, maybe this is just for you to learn. I didn't know that you also have to do it at the test. Up until when it was just 1 week before, I received another email. And in that email, they talked about, oh, you do the hazard test and you do. I was like, what? I also have to do the hazard test? I didn't know about it. But now I had to go back to the videos and then just practice. So on this tip, what I'm simply saying is make sure you practice a lot. You can't get enough of practice. Trust me, guys, because these questions can somehow confuse you, because some of them are similar. Some of them have like answers that sound like, you know how multiple choice is. It's like you have like two that seem like to be right. Yeah. So the first one, as I said, book in advance. The second one, make sure you give yourself time to learn and practice. If you can practice, let's say, 100 questions a day right before the day of your exam, that would be much better, because you get to understand the questions. So now let's go to the day of the exam. I'll show you the day that I was going to the exam and after the exam. So yeah, just here, about to go for the exam, for the practical test. But yeah, feel confident. Feel like I pass, yeah. But yeah, so it's just right across. But yeah, so yeah, just coming out of the test. Oh, guys, fast. So during the test, you have to take the theory one, which has like multiple choice questions, and then you have to do some videos. They call it the hazard perception test. So for the multiple choice, guys, guess what? I got 50 out of 50, and for the hazard one, I got 55 out of 75, which wasn't bad, was good. So really excited. Now going back to work. Now going to work, not like going back as if I was already there, but now going to work. But yeah, and after the exam. But yeah, so go to the exam. Welcomed us, and it was like 6 or 7 of us. Cool. Now this is what I did in the exam. Now, which is the third tip. I gave myself time to be patient. So let me tell you one thing that happened when I was practicing on my phone. I got used to the questions that when I was given 57 minutes in the mock test, I was doing it in 10 minutes or in 9 minutes, like, or 7 minutes. Like I got used to the questions. Now which I told myself, you know what, when you go to the exam, don't take the same approach. At least give yourself time. Now, I went to the exam, I said, take your time. You're not rushing for anything else. Just make sure you give yourself time. So I really did took my time. So as I said, I was doing it in 10 minutes, but now I did it like in 40 minutes, I think. Just the very same 50 questions because I was really trying to be careful. So what I did was I made sure I was careful with the answers and everything. But then after I had finished, I had to go back and reread the questions as well as the answers that I've selected. That's another tip. Sometimes you get used to these things and you go into the exam, you just answer, you're like, you know what, I'm sure these are the answers without doing a little bit of a revision, which may somehow not be good for you. So make sure you read everything and you answer carefully because at the end of the day, it's not just a matter of answering right, but it's getting to understand the concepts. So another tip is make sure you do some practical study. Now, what I mean by this is as much as you can get used to the questions on the application, but you should also give yourself time to do the actual study itself when you go outside. So for me, which works better for me because I always walk when I'm going to work, so I always see road signs everywhere. I mean, I'll show you a video like of me going to work, like and the road signs that I get to see. So one of the things or one of the tips that I would also say is as much as you're getting used to the questions on the application, but make sure you also get an understanding in the actual world. So this was like part of my study as well. When I'm going out and I see a road sign, I was like, okay, so that one means ring road, for example, or that one means mini roundabout, or that one means roundabout, or that one means maybe no through road, or that one means. So it was kind of like I was just trying to read like in a real sense now instead of just reading on the application. So that's another tip, which is like what, number 4. So make sure you also read as you go, like go out and see the signs and make sense and say, oh, this is this. Now, this is only applying maybe to you if this is your first time doing this exam or it's your first time here in the UK. If you have been living in the UK and likely you know all the signs, cool. But yeah, that's one of the tips that I thought I'd also share. But yeah, it's really been good. Now, looking forward to the practical one, and yeah, I'm hoping to get to pass as well this attempt. Yeah, wish me well, guys. Wish me. So yeah, yeah. So I thought I'd just share these things, guys. So yeah, I'll get to see you guys in the next video. So if you find these videos helpful, you may want to click that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and comment or share this with people that may find this helpful. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.